Welcome to the Deep Dive Podcast. I'm Michael,
I'm Nate.
And I'm Josh.
and today we're going to it's a little bit of a Netflix special.
Blue.
The theme of the show is blue.
Yes, blue Netflix, because we trimmed it down a little bit. We cut out like a third show.
That is true.
I think they go outside the brand. Instead of a red N, it's a blue N.
Yeah, time to rebrand Netflix.
Please.
Netflix anime, blue.
I mean, honestly.
So the shows we're gonna be talking about is Blue Eye Samurai. So and the next is Blue Period. Which ones do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about ones you hate or the one you love?
I like them both.
I did. Hate's a strong word.
And in the back rooms, while trying to find a camera, Nate was like, I just don't think I'm a big fan of samurai shows.
Yeah. I was talking to him before,
Just because
before
yeah,
this, and he was like, he doesn't really like samurai.
I've tried. Blue Eye Samurai was like the second samurai show, and it was fine. I liked it, but I don't know. It's just I don't think it's my thing. The other show I watched was Afro Samurai with Samuel L. Jackson, and that was also fun, but it's not like my favorite thing.
I think when it comes to it's become like more of a niche genre to begin with. So you don't have a lot of samurai shows, really. The big top ones that you can think of that are anime is Afro Samurai. Samurai Champloo. I was going to say Samurai Champloo. Like you have Demon Slayer as like the biggest one, I guess. It has swords.
I would not call it a samurai show. It's kind of swordsman, but
It's swordsman, but it's
not samurai.
It does not
fair,
have the
fair.
feel of a samurai show.
Another one, Netflix's God Awful Yasuki, which, fun fact, Warner Bros. Picked that up for a movie. So,
Isn't there also kind of like there's like this like kind of like fantasy samurai like 3D animated one on Netflix? I don't remember the name.
Yasuki.
Yasuke? What was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it? Am I
Pretty
pronouncing
sure.
it wrong? Yasuke.
I think that's the one I'm thinking about.
Is it about the black samurai?
No,
Oh,
it's a different one. It's about like a Japanese samurai.
okay.
I thought Yasuke was about the black samurai.
I don't remember
Yeah.
names very well. Like I haven't seen this. I've just like scrolled through Netflix.
And then you go into like other popular media. You have Samurai Jack, that not anime, but obviously anime kind of influenced.
I feel like samurai stuff was more popular as like older movies, kind of similar
Yeah.
to. I know like old Japanese samurai movies were compared a lot to like Western.
You
And by
take-
that I mean like cowboy Western movies.
Yeah. You take in consideration, too, like, we got a couple in the 2000s, like 41 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. So, I don't even
By the way, I still don't know if it's how you pronounce it, but Yasuke is the black samurai show.
Okay, so that's
Right.
thinking of a different one.
But it also had a fantasy element. They threw robots in there, and I was like,
Oh, okay.
okay. I was like, this is such a good show. And then it was just like, we brought in shamans, which I was like, fine, that's okay. And then they brought in an actual robot, and I was thoroughly confused.
Kind of like a kitchen sink approach.
Explain that to me.
So the kitchen sink is like just throwing everything in.
Oh,
Just throw the
yeah,
kitchen sink.
Yeah. No, I agree. They wanted to make it something great, but the thing is that if you start out the show with a theme and then you change the theme in the middle of it, you kind of lose the purpose.
Yeah, initial setting is very important.
Yeah. So the initial setting was like this was 16 to 1700s. They brought, we're not even talking about that. But just, it goes into the overall samurai theme, though, because for some reason they want to mix it, the genre, something else. Maybe that would excite other folks. I don't know. My whole thing is the time period was the 1700s, and then you threw a robot in. And it's the 1700s because they didn't know that Yasuki was, black. They were like, let's clean you up, sir. So if that's the case, if you're going to bring in a historical setting and then throw a robot in it, you don't know what you're making to begin with.
I mean, you just kind of have to set it up initially. Like, you can do historical and robots in episode 1 and it makes sense, but if you throw the robots in episode 4, people will be scratching their heads.
Right. Let's get into Blue Eye. With Blue Eye, I didn't see that issue.
No, not at all.
I thought it did really good for its time setting. I'm the one that loved Blue Eye the most. Do you guys want to like talk about the initial like what it's about, or should I?
I mean, I can give a brief rundown. It's about a half Japanese, half white samurai, kind of on a quest for revenge to kill all the white people in Japan. But there's only like 4, and they're like evil smugglers and murderers and stuff.
Yeah. So the as you can probably gather from it, she is biracial, and so the reason why she wants to kill them more specifically is because of her having blue eyes and a more chiseled face, like a lot of European features. She was ostracized to the point where people burned down her house and killed. I never really was clear on it, but killed her mom.
Except she comes back, I think.
Yeah. Never really understood that.
She comes back in a flashback, I think.
Yeah, and that flashback was like years after.
Yes.
That. But also, I'm pretty sure it was like indicated that she wasn't even her mom. She was like a maid, like a guardian.
Right. That person.
That was a little goofy writing.
A little goofy.
So the 4, they're called the 4 white men. One of them fathered. I generally forget her name, if I'm honest. I forget what they called her. It's been a minute. Do you remember?
No, I remember the villain's name, like Elijah Fowler.
Yeah.
I do not remember. That's bad.
Is it Elijah or is it Abijah?
Abijah.
Yeah. I was like, it was something weird.
You're talking about the main person?
Yeah.
Mizu.
Okay, Mizu. Yeah, okay. That should not have been difficult. Isn't Mizu literally name of a ramen or something?
Are you thinking of miso?
Miso is like
miso soup. Yeah, moops. So I haven't gone out and touched grass and connected with the outer world.
I mean, we're literally doing the anime podcast. It's kind of on brand.
I don't touch grass, but on top of that, with just the dangers of, her entire house got burned down, she was taken in by a swordsmaker, and eventually she kind of learns how to wield a sword.
And forge.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to add about Mizu is I had to double check myself, but Mizu translates to water. Blue.
So blue period. No. That actually makes sense. I really like when people will specifically use names that have a meaning. I do that in all my writing.
I was like watching it, and it like didn't cross my mind until now, but I was like, Mizu means water in Japanese, so.
So a big thing that she began doing was kind of hiding her identity. So she was she's a woman, but she dressed up as a man because she kind of got slightly more respect as a man.
Well, at that point, from what I understood, at least in the show, women were not respected, especially as swordsmen.
Right. Yeah,
women were like subservient to men at that point in society.
Right.
Especially she couldn't be a swordsman as a woman.
Right. So and just even though she still had the identity, she would wear glasses to hide it, but people kind of treat her more of a monster and was more feared rather than like there's a chance that if she decided to keep her identity as a woman, they probably wouldn't have cared as much and would have just killed her, or at least tried to. That's how I see it, though.
Some of her reputation is because, before the show starts, she's already killed one of the people she was aiming to kill.
Yeah.
So she had already kind of gained a reputation as a samurai. Not a samurai. You couldn't really classify her as a samurai at that point.
Right.
But as a swordsman, she already had a pretty big, somewhat notorious and feared reputation.
Right. So the overall story is about the 4 white Europeans kind of cementing their influence over Japan and trying to overtake the country. So a lot of it is kind of Abijah Fowler.
He's the only white man you see in the first season.
Right. There initially it sounds like they were like two of them were in London and two of them were in Japan, just because Misu was able to kill one of them. At least that's what I interpreted. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
I think two of them already left because they leave
Yeah.
Japan at the end of the show.
Right. Spoiler. I wanted to get to that. I was so excited. So Baija hides out in his like tower, basically like shipping in prostitutes. Episode 4 literally is a brothel. That was cool. The show isn't for your younger siblings.
Oh, yeah. That's an understatement.
No, and that's the thing that I really liked about it is because we don't get a lot of adult animation.
Yeah.
Or at least like good adult animation.
Yeah.
Right.
I will state there's
Something that's not like Fox Animation or whatever.
I will state there's a lot of shows these days, and a lot of media in general is kind of not serious.
Right.
I respect Blue Eye. There's other shows that though animation shows I like. I really respect Blue Eye as something that takes itself very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's not afraid to be a little violent, have a little nudity. It's not afraid to be mature and
Right.
take itself seriously. It's not doing it for the sake of it. It's just doing it because it fits with the show.
Exactly.
The storytelling aspect, and not just like
It's not.
I don't know. I can't think of a.
I mean, like the show includes mature elements like sex and violence, but it's part of the story. Like
It's not like haha sex.
it's like
part of the story.
Yes.
It's literally important to the plot.
Yeah, like this sexual trauma or activities that you see, it's specifically in the brothel, it is almost like meticulously like added in, like it's wrapped into it. You could take it out, but it's a really good scene of how Mitsu ends up gathering information. That entire brothel scene literally leads her to fighting Abijah. Mm-hmm. Of her getting into a little barrel, getting sent over. Did actually? Yeah, no, that happened. I'm a little blurred because I'm pretty sure she visits the island like 2 different times.
I think so.
She got in a barrel, ended up in the island, had to escape, grabbed
She had to
homeboy
save-
number 1.
She had to save. Oh god, I forget his name. There was like kind of 4-ish plots,
We're gonna call him Gabe. Gives him Gabe vibe.
but there's that samurai that wanted to kill her because
Yeah.
she like humiliated the whole dojo and cut off his top knot.
Oh yeah.
That was a really good scene, but that was kind of one of the scenes that like there's some scenes that really give you respect for her, like
Yeah.
oh she's a good person, but that was one of the ones where like she's being senselessly violent to these people.
Yeah, it's kind of like you can tell that she teeters on the line of revenge and like mercy.
Yeah.
I think he deserved like half the stuff that he got given to him.
He didn't get it that bad though. There was just some random student. Some random student.
His honor was taken away. His hair was cut off. That
Okay.
is
That is
like,
fair, but I'm talking about like kind of the dishonor is kind of proportional to his actions. But some of those
Right.
students were just like defending their dojo, and they got like compound fractures in their arms and stuff. She messed some people up where they wouldn't ever be able to fight again. Like they're just protecting their dojo.
At that point, you share the honor.
Causing so much ruckus. Not
It
ruckus,
was
but
like, didn't she like hit a tooth through the air, like hit somebody with it or something? It was like that scene was crazy.
The scene that I really enjoyed the most was when she was going against the I don't know what they were called, but they were like the equivalent of like the 5 horsemen, right?
Or
The assassins.
Like that one fighting on the rocks.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like, I get like a lot of people wouldn't like the show, but if you really just wanted like action that was mindful, not mindless action, like MASH, I think the show kind of gives you that.
It's very. The set pieces aren't just like sword fighting. It's
Right.
it's dynamic with the
Right.
action combined with the environment.
Let's talk about the other kind of like main supporting character. We're also gonna call him Gabe. I just can't remember his name, but he didn't have hands. The cook.
I'm not going to lie. I did not like him.
I appreciated the use that he was to the story, but I didn't like his personality. I thought it was cool that like, wow, they're kind of highlighting like a disabled individual, like, and he's still like very, very useful.
But they made him so annoying.
Okay, so here's gonna be my is he autistic thing too, but genuinely I was getting a lot of it. I was like, this person is not just like handless, like he has like a mental issue. It's just like he just was very like dumb. And
Ringo.
is that his name? And why are you naming him after a Beatles member? So
I'm too young to understand that reference.
Ringo Starr, the drummer. It's not a too young reference. You just don't listen to pop culture.
Correct.
Okay.
Like I've never listened to the Beatles, and I know Ringo Starr.
No, I genuinely didn't listen to the Beatles until my friend had an obsession over it, and I was like, "That's your special interest for the next 3 years." Just a clarification: I am autistic, so when I say that Ringo like gives autistic vibes, I'm just being honest. It's just like he was very kind of like he was very nice and genuine, but he was also like very clueless, and I'm just wondering if that was intentional or if that was just like the character archetype they wanted to make him.
Yeah. My big issue is they tried to kind of make him comedic relief, but
Right.
it wasn't good comedic relief.
Right, it was coming off more like awkward and just kind of
Yeah.
like buffoon.
I mean,
I don't like those type of characters.
say that again.
I don't like those type of characters. They're
Yes.
like buffoon comedic like relief. Like this is not a kids show.
Yeah. I would say the one thing he served an important purpose in the story of kind of softening Mizu a bit. Like he was the main thing that highlighted the good in her. Mm-hmm. So that was he was important, but just kind of
Yeah, important, but not the biggest fan.
yeah.
You can take into consideration that like he reflects the good side of her, and Johnny Depp like kind of reflects the bad part.
Johnny Depp.
It's the same guy. It's just Gabe. I don't remember his name.
Oh, I was like,
you
the rival.
You brought up Johnny Depp, and I was like, what kind of comparison is this?
I'm also gonna mention we're kind of leaving out like the other most main character of I forget her like Princess Azumi.
No, that is Avatar.
But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. His fiance that they had to break it off, and she's gonna get married to this horrible person.
Princess
That's an
Akemi.
arc I need to get into too, because I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever saw. How? Okay.
Princess Akemi is
Akemi.
something.
Kimmy, okay.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of not. This was another part of the show where I was just like, what?
A lot of it was like, why are we spending so much time on her? But she's also important because it shows a different. Her and Mizu are different kind of aspects of different types of power. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really crappy comparison, but it kind of reminded me of watching The Mandalorian in a sense. Just like I'm not comparing Mandalorian and Blue Eye Samurai, but it was just like it felt Mandalorian to me felt really slow, but everything still felt important. Mm-hmm. And it felt the same way with this. I know that was such a crappy comparison, but it was the only way I could describe what I wanted to say.
I understand what you're saying. I haven't seen Mandalorian, but I guess that makes sense. The show is kind of slow, but also kind of fast because it's like slow, but then you're like, oh wow, a lot just happened.
I think just the problem with the show is when it got to the end, a lot of action was happening, which I could appreciate. Really enjoyed Abijah versus Me Too. But the story, like everyone's story made sense. But Akemi, somebody who literally broke the rules to be able to like have premarital sex with this guy and then get separated and come back and get separated, come back. And then she goes and finds out, oh, the Shogun's son isn't violent. He has a stutter. I'm like, okay, so the man's Joe Biden in Japan. Why does that matter?
No.
Why does that change your feelings for him?
She doesn't care for him. At that point, her purpose was to manipulate the Shogun's son.
I get it, but I would have rather just seen her run away with him and not the Shogun's son.
Well, that's what I'm saying is she's a different aspect of, power. She's exerting kind of that social, political power.
Right.
Versus Mizu is like, physical power and violence.
And it'll be interesting to see. Like, I just hope that like we get more of it because I know there's that underlying sentiment, like that she's just doing this to manipulate and protect her country. But it was just also kind of like, if it's into the show is a little bit of a feminist show. But it's
More
just
than a little bit.
okay. It's a feminist show. I didn't know if anyone wanted to argue that, but it's just like, you don't usually see people in power run away from their duties to begin with. So that could have been an interesting thing of seeing if Akemi and Mitsu were on the same side, on an entire, like Akemi's kind of like, let's say the Europeans took over. If Akemi was like a part of a rebel, faction. I don't know. There was like a lot of different things that could have went. So just to see her just completely turn someone down that you're watching, like I'm coming back, I'm ignoring my gay feelings for Mitsu, because that was some interesting alignments. I was like, bro, why y'all looking at each other like this? It gave me Mulan vibes. I was like, bro, you're gonna find out she's a chick and you're gonna hate it. But like he's ignoring all his feelings just to get rejected at the end. It was just kind of like, such a sudden cutoff. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I will say the ending was a little.
The ending got me excited. I just hated that part.
I'm not gonna. I was kind of mad, like that she didn't kill Abijah. I was like, come on.
Whole show, all that build up.
It's interesting.
I do agree. It's just like, yeah.
Not to. This is gonna feel really out of left field, but I kind of like characters who act in the heat of the moment, not like in the super logical. I need to get this done. This is gonna be out of left field, but like in One Piece, Luffy and Zoro aren't like very tactical characters. They just do what they need to do, even if they're just like, oh no, I'm gonna attack. But I kind of wish like Mizu was a bit like that, of like, well, I could use Abijah to try killing other people, but I just want to kill him. I wanted to see her just kill him and not be super tactical and stuff. So I was kind of disappointed.
Sorry, I'm just still laughing at the.
In One Piece.
In One Piece.
Everything connects to One Piece. Once you watch One Piece, you can never go back.
I think the thing is that I think people would find that disappointing if that she did just kill him, because then it really just would have been one season. How is she going to get and find the other people? She won't. So I get what you mean, but also like we had an entire season of her trying to be more merciful and trying to
but
be more kind.
Abijah is not the person who should be shown mercy. He should be shown violence.
That's true, but you will probably see her kill him the following season. It's just that how she has to sail from Japan all the way to London.
Yeah, I just hate when like you have.
How's she gonna do that?
When you have like these scheming villains, I'm like, just kill them. They're a problem. Just kill them, because he's gonna scheme and then screw her over. And
I just find it exciting because
say evil things, like indeed.
I just think it would be interesting because we haven't really had a lot of shows that like completely change settings.
I was also kind of mad about that because you set up all this plot stuff in Japan, like, oh, time to go to London.
Well, I think you'll still in season 2 see some aspects of like you'll see Akemi. Mitsu's job is done. It's Akemi's job now to reform the country from that war. No, they don't even like Mitsu. Like, thanks Mitsu, but we're still gonna like, you're still a monster.
Well, it was kind of more of just like, Mizu kind of did it to help, but she also did it just to kill Abijah. She kind of abandoned helping some people just to kill Abijah. So.
Right. So it's like really like I get the plots are kind of like there, but it's like it's kind of that's why we have I consider Blue Eye to have like 3 main characters.
Yeah, because you have Akemi, you
have Gabe, and then you have
Mizu.
I'm sorry, people are gonna be like, who's Gabe?
You have Gabe 3.
So I think I'll enjoy that quite a bit if there was. We probably won't get an extension of episodes, but like at least see what's happening in Japan.
I really do hope they do like a prequel season. I want to see Mizu kill that first person.
You'll probably get it in flashbacks of season 2 when she meets up with these other white folks, though.
Maybe
it would just make more sense.
We do have a lot of thoughts and opinions.
Okay
on Blue Eye.
Yeah. I'd
say let's give our ratings and then jump to Blue Period.
I wish they would have this on the anime list, but because that's the only show that I believe should be considered an anime. It's at least 100% heavily
And
inspired.
30 minutes later, we'll still be having this conversation about is it an anime or not?
I directly refuse to participate in this conversation because
I have it as an 8.5.
I would say it's a solid 8. Like it's an 8. Like it's a very good show. It's not great, but it's still very good.
I have it as a 7. Just because, yeah.
Fair is fair.
It is a little bit lower. Okay,
gonna
I'll say
start crying.
7.25.
7 point.
Because I can't put it on the same level as something like Blue Exorcist.
Yeah, Blue Exorcist is a definition of a 7 for me.
That is very true. So it's not the same level. So I'll say like 7.25 to 7.5.
That's fair.
So I'm upset because I was expecting the opposite of what just happened. I thought you were going to rank it lower. 8 is a really respectable rating.
I like the show. I don't know how you don't understand this. I like the show. I thought it was good.
I think I was
As a
biased.
7.5 is not a
Your
bad
own-
show,
the
not
only-
a bad score for a show. I just think it's.
All right.
I thought it was fun. Not the definition of the show, but not fun.
Now to
I thought
talk
it was.
about
Yeah.
something completely opposite, not action oriented, all about drama and character.
Blue Period. So, Blue Period is a show set in a high school about this guy named Yatora or Yatoro, or however you. Is it Ra or Ro?
I think it's Yatora. Yatora.
I think it's Ra as well. So Yatsura is in high school, and he's not the loner, not at all. He has a group of friends, but he feels alone and feels a little bit lost about what he wants to do.
And they're kind of like, he's a good student, but they're kind of like delinquent type, right?
Yeah. Good student, but not the best. And
He gets good grades, but he's not like the model student.
yeah, that's the way to put it. And then one day he discovers this girl called Maru.
Is that their name? Oh, and Amaru is the girl who graduates. She's a senior.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Maru is the person who graduates. He stumbles on her creating art in an art class. And that plants the idea of him becoming an artist in his brain. And then he discovers by doing art and things like that he really enjoys art and then wants to go to school for art. Basically a very simplified version of the show.
Yeah, it's all about him discovering passion for art and then basically training. It's a training arc. To get into like the Tokyo Art Institute.
Yeah.
Because his family's broke, so he has to get into like the public college.
I thought it was very strong because, first off, like, this guy was studying, if I remember correctly, like, astrophysics. Something along the lines of that, because there was one of the books he was doing in the first episode was something like rocket science or something like advanced in science.
I don't know.
So, well, I'm telling you that I can be corrected later. I'll retract my statement, but so like everyone's trying to convince him not to do art. His advisor or teacher, I don't really know how it kind of works, but he was like, you already have your entrance exam ready for, science. I'm telling you, it was science. I don't know what exactly it was, but it was science.
Computer science.
Well, I don't think it was computer science. I don't think the character was Josh. So and
Josh was actually featured in Blue Period.
Josh was a background character. This is actually an autobiography of Josh. So just kind of, and then his mom also just not as being as strong as his like advisor, but like kind of not really seeing the point and thinking it's just kind of like a phase.
Yeah, nudging him away from it.
Yeah. But just the kind of characters that we were shown, I really enjoy the art teacher.
I mean, both of them. The one in the school, you don't see as much of her, But then like the what's her name? It's like when it starts with an O. The prep school teacher.
Oh,
I loved how they did her.
She was really kooky in like a
It was
good
like
way.
Oba or something.
Sounds almost right.
It's not right, but it's close.
Yeah. We can call her Gabe.
No, not everyone's Gabe, Michael.
yeah, Oba.
Okay.
So, I don't know. It's just, I think we can go like story by story, but with this show, it's kind of like difficult to do that. But I will say that I really enjoyed how the mangaka created the diversity in this show. There's quite a bit for them all being white. Most of them being white.
My brother in Christ, they're Japanese.
Japanese.
It was Netflix.
No, it is.
I made a mistake. I meant to say it for all of them just being
You are
pale,
Japanese.
pale Japanese. I apologize.
banned from the podcast.
Oh gosh. What I mean is that there isn't any diversity in terms.
Did you hear what played?
No, I don't have the headphones on.
But the
You didn't hear it?
I don't know, mine don't work.
Whoa! Wow.
it was a record scratch.
My point is for all of them just being one race. There's that being Asian, Japanese, not white. They still had a lot of diversity. In terms of personality, one of the Lincolns ends up wanting to be a baker. Was he a baker or just a chef? A chef in general, actually, not just baking.
Yeah, I don't. It's something like that.
Yeah. You had our second, like, kind of important character. I can't remember her name.
Ryuji.
Ryuji, yeah.
I don't know if. I don't know.
I don't know how to classify Ryuji, if I'm honest.
So Yatora always just, at least in the subtitles,
Yeah,
just says they.
right. So, but there was also...
In the dub, I believe they were referred to as they.
I
a
mean,
lot of the
I feel-
subtitles was weird.
I
I'll be
feel
honest
like
with
with it's probably more accurate to trust the subs because I know in Japanese there's more like gender neutral pronouns.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I'm totally willing to call them non-binary because that's what they are. But it's just a lot of the subtitles when I put it on, like English subtitles over English, because I had Urdu being spoken in the background. A lot of it was just kind of like, why do you like to cross-dress? And I'm like, this is not what they're saying in English. So a lot of it kind of like screwed me up because I was like, is this just like...
Yeah, when you do English subs over English dubs, they're going to be different because the subs
So
are always
weird.
translated
Yeah.
differently.
Right, so it gave me the sense of like they're definitely non-binary, but there's also like a sense of like that they're just like a drag
fluidity.
cross-drag. Yeah, like or gender fluid.
I mean, Ryuji liked to. That's just like how they like to express themselves.
Yeah, but I just thought that was very powerful because you don't have a lot of anime characters that are non-binary as well as bisexual. Because Ryuji also mentioned that they primarily like men, but have been with women as well, and I was like,
Yes.
that is really cool. And it really got like maybe not intimate but personal towards the end of the show when
Yeah.
they were drawing each other separately, but drawing each other naked.
Well, they were drawing themselves.
They were drawing
Themselves,
themselves,
yes.
not each other.
Sorry,
themselves.
they were in the same room together, drawing themselves separately with a curtain.
Yes.
In see,
That was, I will say, that was the one time in the show I was like, I get putting messages in a show, especially if they're like subtle messages, but it's a little not unsubtle.
right? It definitely was something I did not expect. I was like, I don't know if you've seen that Leo meme where it's like, hey. I was like, what? I'm like,
Something I found interesting is how like they had nudity in the show, but
Yeah.
when they drew it, it was just like a mannequin. If that makes sense.
I don't know how
Yeah.
they did it in the manga, but maybe that was just like a Netflix thing.
I don't
know.
I feel like it probably came from the manga because Netflix is not one to shy away from just
that is true.
nudity.
Yeah, but the show it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read the manga. I have it. I have like volumes 1 and 6, but
I will say I am curious about your opinions because I know you've probably feel
Right, yeah.
strongly about this.
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
Blue Period was one of those shows where I think I just watched it at the right time, where I really related to Yatsura, and like going from something in the science to becoming more of a creative person, and really feeling that sense of like confusion's not the word, but just like I don't know what I want. I don't know what to do. But then finding that like creativity and then being like, oh, this is something I can latch onto, and then really expressing myself that way. I don't know if I would watch it now if I would have the same strong opinions about the show. I think I will, but I feel like it was just one of those shows I watched it at the right time.
It's also just quality writing. I'm not really one for the style of show Blue Period is, but the characters were just written very well. Mm-hmm. So like
the whole show was like great.
I will say one comment is, when I watched it, I was very busy working on final projects. I've gotten through a lot of the busy stuff for the semester now, but I watched it at a bad time for me because I was stressed. And that show just stressed me out because 99% of it was him prepping for an exam, and I just absorbed the stress of the show. And it was like, the show genuinely stressed me out when I watched it.
I can generally understand that too. And then I have a question for you, but towards the end too, like it's not even just prepping for an exam too. This man was having like health issues too, which probably could add a little bit of paranoia to people who are going through the exact same thing.
I also it's not like highs, but also sometimes if I get super stressed, I kind of get like
bumps.
Not bumps, but I get like some physical symptoms. So I was really feeling that.
I've recently, might be like slightly personal, but I've recently started getting like bumps from the stress of the semester.
Yeah, it's
like I said, I really relate to Yatsura as someone who's more in a creative field and majoring in a creative field. I 100% get him.
Just last week, just preparing for the events that I have coming up, I was getting lightheaded and like just like fatigued, which is what, this man was passing out like randomly. My question for you, did you ever think you were going to do science? Cause like any further detail on that I can get?
For a very long time, my dream job was to be a Disney Imagineer, and I wanted to like create and design and then like kind of code, for lack of a better word, rides like at amusement parks and stuff, and be on that side. But after taking a computer class in high school, I was like, nope, this is stupid. I hate this so much. And I was doing like baby coding. I was on code.org, which is just drag and drop.
Oh, it's like...
I did something similar when I was doing network and security like in high school. It was like dropping like, it was like you had to move this person around this little map, and by dragging different coding like code.
It wasn't necessarily that. It was like creating your own code, but you can like drag and drop different functions to put in.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie, not to get on a tangent, but those kind of websites, even Scratch is kind of like module based where you connect pieces together. But I think stuff like that is just bad for teaching code. If you're gonna teach someone code, you can teach them the logic first, and then just go straight into a language. Because you're gonna end up confusing people with those kinds of building blocks.
I enjoyed the building blocks.
I don't know. When I did that kind of stuff, I hated it. And then I actually started. I don't enjoy code, but I prefer writing in like an actual language.
But yeah, I forget like what language code was or code.org was, but it was genuinely like hurting me how much I hated this. It also didn't help. I was having that class during like the height of COVID. Like, so it was like March where everything shut down. That class started in August, and I was just like, this is so, I like couldn't wrap my head around it. And then that following semester I took trig, and after that I was like, I don't want anything to do with science or math or anything. Even though I've been told trig is the worst, I After that, I was like, I cannot do anything.
Right.
Trig is not the worst. If you end up doing actual computer science, Calc 2. It's so bad. But I digress. We are running out of time.
We still got like 10 minutes, but let's try to gather our final thoughts.
But I'll finish the story. And then after that, I was a little lost on what I wanted to do. I thought about doing environmental science with more of like a zoology focus.
Right.
But because of watching shows over, like watching anime and cartoons and things like that, and playing games and JRPGs, that's when I like wanted to become more of like that. I wanted to work in that field.
Right.
So like either writing or being an audio engineer for those types of things, or just being involved in that process. So it was like finding something that looked fun and then realizing that I really enjoyed doing it and that's what I want to do. So
Right.
similar to how Yatsura felt.
Yeah, I definitely related a lot to this just in terms of the creative process and frustration. One of the things I really enjoyed was seeing him fail and then trying again and fail and trying again. It was always kind of trying to rework the angle of finding what works out for him, and I think that's what I'm kind of going through now with my own writing. But
I'm the odd one out here. I mean, I'm kind of in a pseudo creative, but I also follow the technical part because I don't enjoy like computer science for what it is. I do it so I can make games in the future, but I'm still decently into science.
you're
Like,
still a content creator, though, at the end of the
well,
day.
yeah, but I don't dislike technical fields. Like I'm doing
Right.
physics right now. I don't love it, but I kind of enjoy physics.
I like the idea of a lot of sciences, like especially on the biology side, like biology, anatomy, zoology, all of those things. But the application of them is something that's a lot desired for me.
Yeah, I would say I don't know. We were kind of just getting into discussing college, but that's fine. That's fine. When it comes,
This show made me really think about a lot about college and my current state of
That's-
what I want.
I mean, I think it's really beneficial to have those kind of shows. We've discussed before how anime and kind of media in general can do more than just be entertainment. It can inspire people to reflect on their own life, and I guess this is kind of something it did for you.
Like I said, it was just the show that I feel like I caught at the right moment.
Yeah. All right, gang. How
So-
good do we think this show is?
I enjoy it. I think I watched it at the right time because I just finished Dr. Stone, but I don't think it meets Dr. Stone, so I give it a 7.8.
I give it a. I can't go down the decimal, but it's at least an 8 out of 10. Like, it's not a show. If I like dramas, I probably would give it higher. I don't really like dramas, but even with me not particularly enjoying like the style of show, it was just so it was written so well. I can't give it anything lower than an 8.
For me, it's a 10.
I saw that one coming.
Is this our first 10 for the podcast?
I think this
think
is Nate's
so.
first 10 here.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all gave. What did you give JJK? I don't remember.
No, I give JJK.
JJK was mine was
I
low.
give it like a 9. I can't.
Okay.
I enjoy it, but I can't say it's good enough to be a 10.
This actually
yeah.
might overall be our first 10 for
That
the
is ju-
podcast.
No, a Silent Voice.
j-
Me and him both gave a Silent Voice 10s.
When
That
I
is
do
true.
give it like an 8, 8.5 probably.
Yeah, heretic.
But yeah, it's like I did say earlier, if I watched it now, I'll probably have a similar reaction, but not as strong of as a reaction. So I'm very hesitant to rewatch season 1. I don't know if they'll ever make a season 2, but I'll at least like to read up to what the manga has, just because it meant so much to me watching it.
I think I need to bump mine up to like an 8.2. I feel 7.8 is too low.
I heard
After hearing
7 and
your
I was
reasoning.
like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, he's gonna die.
The thing is, like, I have Dr. Stone. It's the same concept of just kind of like creation. It's just with science instead of art, and literally like rediscovering new things. that's why I really enjoyed it. So I'll give it higher, but like the highest I put Dr. Stone at was like an 8.4.
No. 0 out of 10. Didn't have enough blue in it.
Didn't have enough blue.
I was promised the blue period.
There was not enough Picasso. That's where
I
Blue
also
Period comes
really
from.
liked the opening. That was another thing.
I enjoyed the opening too.
I wish the singer had a stronger voice because I feel like I would. Some of those high notes felt really.
I'm not gonna comment on the opening. Then
I felt like like some of those high notes. I was like, oh, you're really straining to get up there. But I liked the beeps and boops.
Who, before we end it off, I'm just kind of curious if either of you had like a favorite character.
it's hard to say for that show because
Yeah,
the characters are so human.
Yeah,
My favorite character was the one that wasn't really human at all. I really enjoyed the
one who was like,
the prodigy.
I hate you.
Yeah, the prodigy.
No, I
Now,
really. Oh man,
we're
I
gonna
did
get
not like
into it
him.
again, just like Blue Eye. I generally felt a little represented in terms of how he would draw. He would draw with his fist around the paintbrush, and I could not learn how to do it like this. So I always, growing up, I wrote with the pencil more so in my fist and my thumb than between your index and your thumb.
I actually did that a lot as a child too.
I know.
It took me. No, you don't. But it actually took me a while to
I
learn
know.
how to write with a pencil properly.
Right, and I still really have it. So, and then just how he talks is very awkward and flat and like really like dismissive and aggressive. And I just that not all autistic people act like that, of course, but like I was able to relate a little bit to him because of just how like detached he was from our main character, and kind of took a long time to even really like give him respect. That was my favorite moment, was him being there for our main character and then fucking right off, if I'm honest, after he made sure he was good. I was like, that just gave me a lot of like autistic coded.
Yatora was the Rock Lee of painting.
Bro.
Like, yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I definitely. I mean, it's hard to say not relating to Yatora the most after me going on and on about the show relating to me.
All the characters are so perfect. It's an 8.8, guys. I gotta stop lying to you. It's an 8.8. The more you start kind of looking into it, I wasn't able to value a lot of time because I did have my roommates in there quite a bit.
Yeah, didn't you watch it like in one night?
Yeah. So I won't give it a 10. It's not better than the Attack on Titan episodes, but it's right up there with like Dr. Stone's best season, and I just need to accept that.
See, I actually heard that through the headphones. That's a lot of
All right. Well, any final thoughts?
tune in next semester if these episodes get edited.
Bro.
Yeah, this will probably be the final.
We will probably
one for the episode.
We will definitely be changing our
season.
format after this.
Yeah,
Because this is unsustainable.
for real.
But we should be covering some stuff like My Hero, maybe Attack on Titan if Nate gets to watching it over the summer. I know it's a beefy show.
Our Studio Ghibli clip didn't really survive, so we'll probably have a bigger Ghibli episode next semester. But we'll let you. We'll get a schedule out. Either next couple weeks or over the summer. Yeah. We also have stuff like Kaiju 8 might be finished wrapping up by November.
Yeah, and I hope, like I say, look forward to maybe new styles of episodes. It would be interesting to, because I think honestly our best dynamics are when we're not necessarily talking about shows, but going back and forth. So maybe we get to leverage some of this experience we cultivated.
Right. I definitely want to play some games too, and like kind of like put shows up against each other. What do we think is better in terms of comparison? So maybe we'll have a little like tournament style episodes. See if if Blue Period can go up against Dr. Stone.
Deep dive tournament arc.
For sure.
But that's been up for, I guess, Deep Dive Season 1.
Yeah.
Spring 2024.